Welcome to the Careering Podcast, a collection of rants and reckons on all things career, hosted by author and creator of Careering 9, Melissa Davies, and her partner in crime, Kelsey Ingalls. If you're brave enough, take a seat, settle in and listen as we tackle difficult career and workplace issues. Sometimes we'll be wrong, sometimes we'll be right, but we will deliver it with confidence and a touch of colourful language, so it will at least be entertaining.
Hi everyone, and welcome back to the Careering Podcast. I am your co-host Kelsey, and as always I am here with the creator and founder of Careering 9, Melissa Davies. Kia ora.
Kia ora, Kelsey.
How are you today? You just looked at me with like the most intense smile on your face.
Because your brand is Kia ora, Kelsey, and every time I say it, it makes me laugh.
Yes, well, you know, don't blame me for branding myself properly. How are you going?
Yeah, I'm well.
Are you?
But I'm not thriving.
No, neither am I. Look, dear listeners, welcome to the last episode for the first season of the Careering 9 podcast. You know, look, it would be off-brand if we didn't tell you the truth. So we're going to tell you the truth. We're quite hungover, but we had a great time. And so, you know, look, we're living our best lives. So I think our theme of the week collectively is I need a nap.
Yeah, and I need to learn how to say no to another margarita.
And another shot.
Yeah.
And, you know, keeping this truth serum going, it's a 2-day hangover. This is day 2 for both of us. So we've lived, we've learned, we've loved, and we're moving on with our lives now.
And I wish I could say it won't happen again, but it probably will.
I'm not going to make any promises.
Yeah.
So with that, as I have mentioned, we are going to sum up our season, our first ever season of the Careering Podcast with this final episode. So I think it's only fitting to talk about what we're looking forward to in 2023, career-wise, business-wise, life-wise. Do you want to kick us off?
Oh, it's so much easier for me when I get to ask you the big question.
I love that I just got in there and I was like, haha, motherfucker.
Damn.
Talk us through your big life looking forward to moments for 2023, Melissa.
I am looking forward to travelling in 2023.
Fuck yes.
I have done a lot of travelling previously, and I feel like this last chapter, maybe the last 5 to 7 years, I haven't been on a plane as much, and I feel like
I wonder why.
Well, the last 3 years, for obvious reasons, but before that, I think settling back here in Christchurch and renovating my house and dealing with family stuff has kind of been all consuming, and so I think it's just really exciting to go to new places. I'm really drawn to new places. So this year for me, I'm hoping to head to Portugal and Morocco.
Ooh.
Yeah. I also like going places that not many people go. So
I feel like, you know, you might see a fair few other people in those places, but
I know, as soon as I said that, I was like, oh yeah, okay, I didn't mean it that way.
I am expecting some good presents. Thank you. But first, where are we travelling to on the first one? The first trip.
The first trip, I'm super excited. So my secret love / secret shame is that I love country music. And because Kels is such a good friend, she has let it infiltrate her reality and has succumbed to the pressure and is going to come with me to a 3-day country music festival in Brisbane.
Do you know what? I'm not even worried about the country music. I'm actually a little bit excited about it. Do you know what I am worried about?
The spiders.
The camping.
Oh yeah. Kels also not a camper.
Not a camper. Last time I went camping with Melissa, it was like hurricane level winds in Mount Maunganui and the tent caved in on the side of my face.
And we had to tie the tent to the car.
Yeah. So not a good track record. Yeah, it's going to be interesting.
Yeah, we might give you an update when we kick off season 2.
Yeah, we'll let you know how it goes. But I have demanded that we got a few days in Byron Bay afterwards. So Melissa has at least given me that.
Yeah, and I'm sneaking over a week early and heading up to Noosa. So
nice.
That's what I'm looking forward to in 2023. One of the things.
Nice.
What about you, Kels? What's on your list?
I am also looking forward to that. I am looking forward to just an actual holiday, like a proper holiday. And then just ticking off some different goals in my life. One of them for this year. Look at me. I know. I set a goal. I set a fucking goal.
Oh my God.
I know. I set a goal because I felt shamed and attacked after our goals episode, but I set a goal. And it is less of a smart objective, a smart goal, and more of a, I should probably do this because I'm an adult now, and I'm going to get financially sorted in terms of understanding what the fuck I'm supposed to be doing with my money. After doing the Jane and Jen episode, I'm like, fuck, I need to get my shit together. So first step was I listened to the You're a Badass with Money.
That was such a good, but the Jen Sincero one that Jen from the podcast recommended.
Yeah.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
That was a great recommendation. It was a really good book.
I fucking loved it, and I messaged Melissa afterwards. I was like, I'm going to make all the fucking money. I'm going to make lots and lots and lots of money. Still haven't figured out how, but I'm going to, that's what this year's
The goal
about.
is to make lots of money.
Yeah, the goal. That is the goal. But this year I'm going to figure out how I'm supposed to do it.
Nice.
My sharesies is looking up, so we're on a good start.
Yeah, mine is too. I made
Yeah.
some good choices on that front.
Yeah. Not financial advice, by the way. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
Nice.
Just got a new car, which I am very excited about. So we just need to figure out a name for the Mazda.
It's a zippy wee thing, so it has to be something that reflects that.
Yeah, well, so it was Vinny the Vitz with the other car, and now I've got a Mazda. So now I need to figure out an M name. And I like calling it men names, mainly because traditionally cars and boats are usually female names. And so I was like, no, fuck that. I'm going to have a male name. So I don't know. If you've got any ideas, it can't be... I don't want a standard name. I don't want a standard match name, or I don't know what any other M names are, but it can't be that. So, dear listeners, if you have any idea, let me know. Yeah, so that's my 2023.
Nice.
Is that boring?
No, I think that's really sensible. And it also shows growth, considering you were like, fuck goals. Now you're like, I have several of them.
Yeah,
and
but
one
I
of them
feel
is to
like
make
I've
a
just
lot
been
of
shamed into them because everyone's like, what do you mean you don't have goals?
Doesn't matter the source of your motivation if it's good for you.
Look, it's more of a... I've been really interested in passive income for quite a long time, and I think that episode with Jen and Jane was just like, actually, I'm a single woman. I need to be able to feel comfortable by myself with my own money. I can't rely on another person to come into my life to make me financially secure, because a lot of couples, I think we're often trained as young women to know that we'll be in a financially secure space if we've got someone else. And I don't want that. I want to be my own someone else. I'm going to marry myself.
Yeah, I totally get that. I think it's probably never ever crossed my mind that I would ever rely on someone financially, because I've been financially independent since I was 16.
Yeah.
So I've always been like, well, if it's meant to be, it's up to me.
Yeah.
And I think what's interesting about passive income is, to get it, you can't be passive.
Yeah. Go do the work.
It's quite a lot of effort to get passive income.
Yeah.
And I think it's, if you've got capacity and an interest, like, even though that might not feel motivational, I think knowing that you want that, there will be some form of intrinsic drive that you actually do start. Your reticular activation system, your brain's kind of filter, will start filtering ideas and opportunities that support that.
So will the TikTok algorithm. It's great.
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
Neuroscience, TikTok.
TikTok, same thing. I think the thing for me that I'm really looking forward to is the long-term gains from it.
Yeah.
I think we're often used to, and especially me, I'm used to do the thing, get the result. Do the thing, get the result. Whereas this, especially there's an Instagrammer that you told me to follow. There's a Fire something, Fire Financial or something, something like that. And she puts out like her yearly income and how it's grown because of her different investment in all the different pieces.
Yeah.
And I really, that's really shifted my mindset on the importance of long-term looks.
Compounding interest.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. So that's me for 2023.
Nice.
Yeah. I'm not going to end up I'm not going to turn into a crypto bro. I'm just putting it out there.
Surely you have some crypto though.
I haven't quite got to dabble in that yet. Yeah, just like, let me just dip my toe in the water. I'm just getting there. I'm getting to it. Where I can't do everything at once. I can do everything, just not all at once.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, interesting segue, because I guess there were two other things I had on my list, and one of them was that recovery is a core part of performance. That's a real focus for me this year, because I am always focused on applying effort to get result, like you said, and I always forget that recovery is as impactful.
Yeah, I forget that too.
Yeah, and good quality rest, which is why this holiday to Australia, which is why I'm going a week earlier.
Yeah.
And having that downtime.
Yeah.
Because I actually feel like I can't even remember when I last fully disconnected. And I think the challenge is I don't have someone I can hand over to when I'm away. So I will still take my laptop, but I'm setting everything up in advance that people know I'm only available if it's an emergency.
Yeah.
And I'll only be checking my emails.
And you will choose how you want to engage with your work.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So I'm actually really looking forward to having a focus on recovery, and then when I come back, getting back into a bit of a fitness regime, and again making sure that recovery is the core part.
Yeah.
It's almost like I think if I just work a bit harder and do a bit more, the result will be better. But that's actually the opposite, and I've really learned that in the last couple of years. So I actually want to put that into practice across all parts of my life, not just talk about it when I actually do it.
Nice. What's the other one on your list?
Is just getting to the next big milestone on a couple of my projects. So with Hold Mine, getting to a stage where we've got, commercial partnerships in place and there's real momentum around it.
Yeah.
I always think about, the images you see about entrepreneurs or new businesses, and someone's like literally pushing the rock up the hill.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm always in that place. And so it'll be really nice to just be even 3 steps ahead of that, and feel like I've ticked some boxes.
At the next orange marker.
That's exactly what I've written down. The next orange marker. Yeah.
Loves a callback.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah.
Nice.
But mostly holidays.
Yeah. Well, I think that's also that's a good sort of roll into the fact that we are taking a break. So we are going to have a couple months off doing the podcast, and we're going to come back with the second season in winter. But I think a core thing that Melissa, highlighted is that it's time for some recovery and time to reset some spaces. And so we just need a bit of a break for both of us to focus on some other things, some other projects, which I really appreciate that you brought it to the table, because you know me, I will just keep going and going and going until I fall apart. So I appreciate that you're like, actually, no, if I'm going to show up for this, I want to show up rested and recovered and come back to it with my all. And so I was like, fuck yeah, I'm on board with that. Let's go. So we are going to take a break.
Yeah, and I think it was really interesting because we talked about doing season 1, having a break, doing season 2. We never really talked about what that could look like in terms of timing. And it was, I think I was just in there really leaning into what have I learned that recovery is part of performance. And I'm like, well, if I actually don't take a step back and really bed in the lessons, put some effort into some of my other projects for a little while, I don't want to feel resentful.
Yeah.
Or that there's momentum and I just have to keep doing it because I said I would.
Yeah.
I want to take a step back and keep making sure that these podcasts add value, and we're really passionate about them. And I think it was really interesting when you said about, well, let's reflect on some of our learnings from doing it. So what were some of your learnings from doing this season 1?
That YouTube can teach you fucking anything. Because at the start of, in the middle of this time last year, I had no idea how to do any of this, and now I can whip it out, an episode out real quick.
I can whip it out.
I'm not going to just shut up. And also that Melissa is quite rude.
Yeah, I'm really in the gutter today. Sorry, team.
Yeah. And apparently I swear a lot, according to all the men who listen to our podcast.
Yeah, interesting. That's an interesting piece of feedback, right? Yeah. So we have some men friends that we love dearly that won't listen because they don't like us swearing so much.
Yeah, but the only feedback that I've heard about the swearing is from dudes.
Yeah.
Which I find fascinating.
Or women are too polite to tell us.
Yeah, so ladies, if you don't like my fucking swearing, can you tell me? Because it's starting to seem like men are the problem. But you knew that listening to this podcast. I did see something the other day where it was like, how do you date men when you hate men? And I was like, I can see that, yeah. Anyway, sidebar. So yeah, I think I've learnt those two things. What have you learnt?
Also, the energy management is crucial. Like, I think we had a couple of episodes where Kels and I had scheduled the time. We'd both had really big weeks. We sat down to record, and we just had no mojo. And it came from two places. One, I think we were just physically run down, a lot going on. And the second one, it was a topic that we weren't really ranty or passionate about.
Yeah, and I don't think we were fully aligned on the angle that we were going to take.
Yeah.
And I think, like, this is very obvious that we do this off the cuff a lot of the time. I mean, Melissa's usually got a list of notes in front of her, but it's usually just like thought starters and a bit of research.
Bullet points, yeah,
and some stats. But the rest of it's all unscripted. And if we're not in the right space, it sounds real bad.
Yeah, and I think what was awesome is that episode, you called it. You like did the little timeout symbol, and you were like, I'm just not feeling it. How about you? And I'm like, not even a little bit.
Yeah. And I think that speaks to the thing where we don't want to put it out there if it's not the right energy level.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think what that showed me, though, is in how many other parts of our lives do we give ourselves permission to do that?
Not many in mine.
Yeah. And there is that real kind of sort of female lens of serving others. And so even just checking in with yourself and knowing where you're at energetically is not something we're trained to do. We're like, I'll worry about me later.
Yeah.
You know, we all quote to everyone else, put your own oxygen mask first and don't live it.
Yeah. Yeah. I literally thinking about conversations I've had at work this week where I have been told to do that.
Yeah.
And we go, no. So, no.
Yeah, I'll be fine.
I'll be fine.
I'll
It's
be fine.
Everything's fine.
Yeah. And sometimes it's just not fine.
Yeah. Well, shit's going to change. I'm going to put my own oxygen mask on in the break.
So you heard it here first too. Let's check in with Kels in season 2 and see how oxygenated she is.
Jesus, I'm not setting that as a goal. What else have you learned?
It kind of just carried on that theme, which is just that it's a real privilege to share our thoughts and have people that actually want to engage and listen and give us feedback. And I love it when, you know, I'll be sitting there and my phone pops up with an Insta message that Danny has sent a message to tell us about a new job, and it makes me really excited. And I really love that each of you, or like Crystal's shared something and done a shout out for us, or Jen and Jane have slid into our DMs with a couple of cute messages.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like we've created connection and community with some amazing women, and even if we never meet in real life, it feels like there's this really cool crew of hype girls like Rita and Beck that all just kind of high five us and clap us and give us support, and that isn't what I expected.
No.
I don't really know what I expected, but I feel like we've somehow become part of a virtual community of just really good bitches that,
oh, you're going to make me cry.
but it's been really cool.
Yeah, to be honest, I'm just surprised people listen to us.
Well, that. And more than just our families.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's been fascinating to see how many women have connected with different types of things that we've talked about. And like, I even know, like, after I did the fat episode, the amount of amazing messages of people that feel same way or feel different ways
or learnt something. Yeah,
just like it, you know, it is a female thing to like want to give and you know, be a part of that, but I think it's a big part of my like value set.
Yeah,
is to help others, and the fact that I can do that by sitting on your floor with a microphone, cuddling a fat ginger cat, and a cup of tea in my hand, that brings me a lot of joy. Brings me a shit ton of joy.
Yeah. And if we were going to go woo-woo right now and talk about human design, that is you living your projector self.
How in the world have we got through 20 episodes and we've only just brought up human design?
I know. I'm so excited to talk human design.
Maybe that might be a season 2 episode.
Yeah, we should bring someone in who's an expert in it.
Okay.
Not just our reckons.
I've got lots of reckons.
Yeah, well, lots of reckons too. But I guess on that note, around season 2, we'd love to have more guests on the podcast, people we can learn from or who have big opinions on things that are really important to talk about. So if any of you want to come on the podcast, or if you know someone, that'd be awesome for us to shoulder tap.
Or a topic,
a topic, something you want us to chat about, please let us know, because we're super keen to get your input. It's really helpful, because then we know we're adding value as well.
Yeah, and I think for us, we're just sitting here talking about our things that are topical to us or things that we're having in our daily lives, and we want to make sure that we are adding value. I think that's a big important thing to both of us for it. Yeah. What
about you, Kels? Any other learnings? Learning's a word.
Learnings is a word. It's learning with an S on the end. It is a word.
Yeah, I've written it down.
I've learned I can be quite sassy.
That wasn't news to me.
No, sorry, apologies. I've learned that it's really uncomfortable that when people that you work with listen to the podcast. Hi, team. And they talk to you about it at work, and you're like, oh my God, shut up. No, I think for me, it's really broadened my understanding of the struggles that we face as women in the workplace in a lot of different industries, a lot of different age groups, a lot of different roles or seniority within those roles as well. The amount of women who have reached out to us who are, in their 50s and 60s as well as in their early 20s, and just it affects all of us in some way. And it's just been quite humbling to, we bring out these stats and talk about how the world does lean in a negative way towards women in the workplace. Mm-hmm. But then hearing those stories firsthand is quite impactful as well. And so I think it's kind of humbled me and broadened my worldview, which has been nice.
Yeah, nice.
That makes sense. That felt real rambly.
You get to edit yourself.
Yeah, that's true.
Do you want to say that again? Or?
Nah. First time. First take wonder. Let's go. Well, like Melissa said, this is going to be our last episode for the season, but we're back with season 2 in winter. In the meantime, we're not going away. We'll still be there on Instagram and on the TikTok and Twitter.
We might post some stories from our country music festival so you can see a bit of the shenanigans behind the scenes.
Yeah, careering on tour. We're getting cowboy hats and cowboy boots.
Yeah. We commit. Yeah. We know how to have a good time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we also, if you're in Christchurch at any point, reach out to us. We'd love to catch up and have a coffee and talk. And we're not disappearing. We're just resetting and recovering.
Yeah. We're just leaning into a bit of downtime.
Yeah.
/ working on other projects.
Yeah, exactly. All right, team. So that is it from us for the season. We'll be back in the middle of winter. We hope that you all can take a leaf out of our book and go and do the rest and recovery and put the effort into the things that you really want to and enjoy your life. In the meantime, you know that we are on Spotify, Google, Apple Podcasts, wherever you get them. You can listen to our back catalogue if you miss us deeply. And in the meantime, we'd love it if you rated us 5 stars on any of those platforms. It does help us get out there to more people. The more you rate us and the more reviews you leave. And if you want to get in touch with us in the meantime while we're away, we're on Instagram, on TikTok, on Twitter, and on email. So just get in touch. You know that we love hearing from you. If you've got any ideas for next season, let us know. But until next time, get out there, back yourself, and be fucking fabulous.